I'm Tony. He's Mike, and we are here to do another Quick and Dirty, and this one is starring Spider-Man, Tom Holland. This is The Devil All the Time. This is a film that Mike had mentioned about wanting to do a couple years back, and I'm just kind of like, it's Tom Holland, I'm good. But I was wrong.
You were wrong.
Throwing that out, and not only was I wrong, I was so wrong that I forgot any mention of it that you had ever had. And then I watched this movie, and then I was like, we need to do a Quick and Dirty on this one. And he's like, I said that like 2 years ago.
No, I said, F you. I recommended saying 2 years ago, you asshole.
And I deserve every bit of that. I really, really did.
Really quick, American psychological thriller, crime, drama. I mean, there's a lot of things that are going on in this movie.
Yeah.
Directed by Antonio Campos, also written by the same person and his brother, Paulo Campos. Based on a novel of the same name by Donald Ray Pollock, who also narrated this movie as well.
Emma was known as one of the best cooks in the county. When people praised her food, she always told them that she couldn't fry an egg.
Which I loved that detail in that, the narration.
Me too. It's the perfect voice to narrate that film, because it was very Heartland, very,
Middle America.
Middle America, yeah. Thank you.
But it's a heavy movie. And it starts off, and we get to watch a man that comes back from the war after seeing some stuff that really disturbed him, and he falls in love with a waitress at a diner, even though his very religious mother is trying to get him hooked up with another lady at church, and he rejects that, and he pursues the lady at the diner, and
he doesn't really reject her. She gets swooped up by the preacher, the visiting preacher coming into church. And he's already got his heart set on this other girl anyway, so it doesn't matter.
Anyway.
So it didn't matter. He left her $1 tip. He's going back for no slice of pie. You can bet that.
What can I get you? Meatloaf is the Blue Plate special.
Just coffee and a donut.
I deservedly so,
Yeah,
too. So
absolutely.
I'm just going to say, but...
love them redheads.
I love those redheads.
They proceed to get married and have a child, and
there's a million twists and turns.
There's a million twists and turns. There's a very large cast. Let's just say this. It focuses on Tom Holland, who is that child that has grown up. It revolves around several other characters in the film, Robert Pattinson being a replacement preacher for the church that that Tom Holland's very devout mother attends, and his devout adopted sister?
Yeah, they say stepsister, but it's kind of adopted sister. I don't know, it doesn't matter.
But yeah.
Sebastian Stan, who I didn't realize it was Sebastian Stan.
Oh, yeah.
Till later, and it's like, wait a second, that's Sebastian Stan as the sheriff. Yeah. Great makeup job on him.
Yes.
And his sister, I forgot her name or her character's name, but she's mixed up with is it Jason Clarke? Is that
Jason Clarke. He was in War for the Planet of the Apes.
Yeah.
It was Battle or War for the Planet. He was in the Planet of the Apes movies, the most recent ones. He was also in a TV show that kind of kicked his career off on HBO that was called Brothers.
Yeah. And the awful Terminator Genesis.
Yeah, we don't talk about that. but I didn't hear anything about that. Yeah. Anyway, it's a heavy movie. It's a very involved movie. It's hard to sum it up in a few sentences. So
we don't.
Yeah.
So
yeah. But I will say this: it's a fascinating character study of multiple types, and it's also kind of a condemnation of the people that take religious ideas and use them to their own ends.
Well, not so much even that, really just people of authority in general, because even the police.
Yeah.
Because the sheriff is a very corrupt person. It's like everybody that you're raised to look up to and respect and just naturally obey, they're not always great people.
As a matter of fact, more often than not, they're not. But does definitely fall into that anti-authority twist. It's also a really heavy condemnation of little town America. And I say that because, you know, in every small town, it's always, oh, so-and-so is the sheriff, and so is this, and so is so. And there's the richest family in town. And you know exactly what I'm talking about. And if you live in a small town.
But that's not really portrayed here in that regard. It's really just, it's sort of like, you know, just because there's some small podunk town, like, crazy shit don't happen. Because crazy shit happens, and it happens a lot.
Absolutely. Well, there's also that family. He comes from that family. They were outsiders, even though they lived there for 9 years. 9 years, they were still seen as the other. So it was okay to harass them. It was okay to
But they weren't. But again, they weren't really harassed. They just had interactions with the wrong people.
Well,
it's really what it boils down to. It's really not as what you're portraying it as far as like the typical like you say the outsider family or them being picked on or teased or anything like that.
No. But seen as outsiders, seen as others, seen as
but it doesn't really play into the events or the plot that really goes on. It's just a small factor, small detail.
No. It is most definitely a detail. It's like in subcategory 3. It's not up here at the top. It's the authority and the way that people use that authority is more often the main theme of this one. But
one thing that I picked up on was it seemed like whenever, like the father, when he would, get revenge on somebody who slighted him, bad shit happened. And then the same thing happens to the son. As soon as he gets revenge on somebody that wronged him, bad shit happened to him too.
Yeah.
So it's kind of one of those like, revenge isn't always what it's cracked up to be,
Absolutely. Absolutely.
That shit will come back upon you.
I'm also going to say this. Jason Clarke was spectacular as the photographer / serial killer.
We did him a favor. He was just going to get shot up and killed in Vietnam anyways. God damn it. He wasn't nothing but another model.
I told you I don't like this anymore. Ain't it fair if I hate the way some of them cry?
Well, not that you'd appreciate it, but tears make for a good photograph.
Skarsgård as the dad was great.
Yes.
Now you remember what I told you about them boys on the bus that gave you the black eye? That's what I meant. Just gotta pick the right time.
Yes, sir.
There's a lot of no good sons of bitches out there.
Sebastian Stan was great.
I've been getting a lot of calls from people about girls selling snatch out to Kumsa. They even mentioned your name a couple of times.
That's horseshit.
I got another election coming up, Sandy. Well, Matthew's out there doing anything he can to try to make me look bad.
Really, every
Robert
performance.
Pattinson delivered in spades on that one.
Eve in the garden. Noah, naked, drunk, bringing shame upon his family. The idol the Jews bowed before in the desert. And even the Lord Jesus himself was presented with delusions in the desert, but only through his faith and his strength overcame.
And it's got this weird earnestness, this genuineness to it. I should have taken your advice. I should have watched this film much sooner than I actually did. But I gotta say this. At the time, I was still like trying to flush the whole Twilight thing out. Robert Pattinson hadn't really established himself as big and dramatic, so I would see his name on a poster and be, I'm good. Now that he's done some films, now that he's escaped his Twilight fate, unlike his co-star Tyler Lofton, whatever his name is.
Doesn't matter. Everybody else forgot.
Yeah, well, exactly. But at this point, if he's on the poster, I'm gonna watch it. Yeah. He's just shown that he's that versatile, he's that interesting, and he's selective about the roles that he does. He's kind of doing the Brad Pitt thing, where Brad Pitt could have been the pretty boy, but he decided that he was going to do shit like 12 Monkeys and this, and he'll occasionally do something light action comedy, light fare. But for the vast majority of it, he's doing seriously heavy lifting.
I wonder if because Jake Gyllenhaal produced this movie.
Yeah.
I wonder if he had a hand in like hand picking these actors for these roles,
or giving them the chance to
Yeah,
actually
give-
do
yeah,
something that
do something
wasn't
different, yeah.
that wasn't teenage romantic fantasy vampire novel and comic book related.
Yeah.
So,
And it's a shame that it really didn't. Nobody really talks about this movie.
No,
Not too many YouTubers reviewed it. It kind of flew under the radar, and of course, it's like right at the beginning of like it was right in the heart of the pandemic.
yeah.
It was 2020. So I don't know if
So-
it's because of that, but I think more people would have watched it just because you
Yeah.
had nothing better to do but sit around and watch Netflix anyway.
Well, they were too busy watching, the idiot with his tigers.
Oh yeah, true. That's a good point. Yeah.
I'm proud to say I never bothered to watch. I watched the first episode and was like, I'm out. Watching white trash people do white trash things does not interest me. This, on the
Except
other
for in
hand,
this movie, because they're white trash people doing kind of white
I wouldn't
trash
say that they were white trash as much as they're the salt of the earth kind of people. But I will also say that I would really like to see Tom Holland escape the MCU and do more of this kind of stuff because, again, great performance, completely unexpected performance. I did not expect him to have chops like this, and he does.
I tried telling you.
I've been watching your every move for the last couple weeks. You can't get enough of that Reister girl, can you? Is that how you did my Lenora too?
So I stand corrected. I completely. I'm just gonna say he was right. That's what I got for you on this one. But this is an absolute recommend from me. And again, you don't even got to pay for it. Just throw it on Netflix. It's on there right now. It's a spectacular watch. It's gonna rub you the wrong way. It's gonna make
It's
you
dark.
think.
It's dirty. There's some dirty themes in there. But it's absolutely worth it.
Yeah, clear the
check it
kids
out.
out of the room. Don't be all, hey kids, Spider-Man's on. So,
Yeah, it's not a Friday night. Hey, let's watch something fun. No, it's not that.
watch this shit on a Tuesday after a bad day at work, and you'll feel much better about your life. I don't know what else to say. I mean, I don't, like I said, I don't want to. The less you know going about this film going into it,
The better.
The more you'll appreciate it, I think. But yeah, I'm converted. I'm a believer. I genuinely really enjoyed this film.
All right.
So,
Well, our work here is done then.
So-
We'll see you the next time.
Yeah.